quick breakdown of how I made 42 pips on gold. Okay, I've been doing this for a minute now. I'm doing paper trading, so it's not real money. I'm just actually just practicing to see if my strategy is profitable or not. And currently, I've finally found my secret sauce. Now I'm just fine tuning it and just repetitively. Now I'm just repetitively using it, and yeah. So right now we can see right here is actually got this. Oh, surely it stays here. So it's something like this. It's a 2.8. I got a 2.8 ratio, so it's a 1 to 2.8. And how I got a 1 to 2.8, and how I got this specifically is I first always check out the weekly time now. Right. And the weekly time was showing that this either could have been a retracement or could have been a continued downtrend. And we can see along this line here, support. Every time, for me, what I see here is in this space, every time price went through here, it either bounced off, came back to this area, and then bounced off, or it just doesn't like this area. This area is a bit of a fidgety area, and we can see recently that price did not like it. So just automatically judging from the weekly time, we can see that this could be a continued uptrend, but we don't know until it goes past this bearish candle. But at the moment, it's looking like it is a engulfing candle. Let's go to daytime. Daytime is just a bit more in depth and specific about what's happening day to day time frame and candles. And we can see here that it actually stopped at around this area. It didn't actually it got a little bit below this area, which is signaling a bit of a downtrend, but right now it's actually coming back up. So it could be continuing or reversing, which honestly we'll truly know at this point in time here. We're here. But it looks like it's coming back up now. And so I decided, since it's coming back up, I should see how it's looking. And we can see here, it's an uptrend. Sorry, take off all this. It is an uptrend. It's making new highs. So in this case here, it's not. But here, it's making new highs and higher lows. Then it messed up a bit. But essentially, it's always making newer highs. That's the end point. It's always making newer highs, and that's why I saw the opportunity. As this is technically on an hour trend, it is an uptrend. On an hour time frame, sorry. On an hour time frame, it is an uptrend. So I saw this and I was like, okay, so it's an uptrend on the hour time frame. So we can assume that this could take out this area and make a newer high. So with that in mind, I jumped into the 5 minutes because we can see that price from the weekly time frame could easily just continue up here and form continue a uptrend, or it could reverse, which either way it kind of has to come up to here or here, has to come into this area to fully confirm if it's either going to be a continuation or a reverse, unless it wants to push down. Whichever pushes down, it has to confirm back up at the support area. So either way, right now we are seeing that it's an uptrend, but we're seeing that it has a decent chance to be an uptrend. We don't know for sure, but it looks like it has a really good chance of being an uptrend. So we came back to the 5 minutes, and before all this happened, right? Before all this happened, I was seeing this here, the previous level of resistance. So I'm thinking, in this case, if I do buy up, which I did, the reason why it could go the other way is because it made a lower high. But we have to understand that the hour time frame, the week time frame, and all the other time frames, because this is only the 5 minute time frame. So it does matter, but at the same time, it doesn't essentially matter. It's mostly the bigger time frames that really matter, because if we're going in downtrend in bigger time, in the 4 hour, the daytime, if we're going a downtrend in the 4 hour time frame, the daytime time frame, and the 1 hour time frame, we can assume that it's going to continue down. But honestly, following the trend is the easiest shit alive. Going against it is a bit hard. Even sometimes I still go against it, so who knows. So in this case, I saw here, even here, it was making a lower low. But in this case, this is before this happened, but in this case, I just had a feeling that it was an uptrend in the hour. So why is it going to be forming lower? And let's just see the positives and negatives for both sides. This one, you can clearly see that it stopped at this line. It doesn't want to push past this line, right? So we can have a good idea that it will form a downtrend. But in this case, I was going according to the hour time frame. And the hour time frame was suggesting that it's still an uptrend. And that's what I kind of went with. With the weekly time frame, it looked like it was a higher chance of it being a continuation of an uptrend. So I went with according to those two time frames and thought that there was resistance here, but there was also support here. Even though it did push down a few times, it didn't really get past this purple line. And that's when I saw the opportunity to hop in. So here, when it was coming down, I knew this was a good opportunity. So I could have invested up here, but I knew I could probably get a better opportunity and I should be a bit more patient. So as soon as it came down in this area, I really just wanted to invest because I knew this was the area, this was the sweet spot that if I did lose money, I wouldn't lose too much. And if I did make money, I would make more. So that's how I was thinking as well. So I invested in around this area, as you can see here. It's not necessarily 1935, but it was around that area. And it booked me in for a higher place. So I think I booked like above here. So it was a bit higher. But yeah, I planned to book in around here. But price was moving a lot as well. So I booked it up here. And then price up to come down. But you can see my stop loss. I perfectly made my stop loss just below the lowest price, because if I didn't, it would have taken out my whatever, it would have taken out my stop loss. So it was a good thing. I always make sure I put it below the lowest below the lowest previous low, if that makes sense. So I did that in this case. I also did an AUD JPY, but that I took a loss of $4. This I made a win of $9.60, but this is with just less money and like more realistic, using $1,000 to start off with paper trading, but now I'm down 200, but now I'm slowly breaking even and coming positive. So I'm just learning a bit more. This is all about the learning stage, and what I've learned here is the breakdown. What I also do is I do a trading journal to make sure that I understand, like I track my whole history of how I'm trading, what I'm doing exactly. Now I'm starting to draw the diagram of what I invested in and what worked and what didn't work. Here you can see a congestion, so it can go both ways. So in this case, you can say I was lucky, but you can say that I also went according to the 1 hour. So we can say in this case, following the 1 hour time frame and probably the weekly time frame and how it looks compared to candle patterns, that you can highly assume that it should keep going up. So that's what I did. And I invested. It came all the way down. I thought this was going to be a reverse because if it did make a lower low, which I think it did, it should have been a downtrend signal. But in this case, it hit the area of support, didn't like it, and just bursted through the roof. And this is where I made 42 pips. So yeah, guys. So if you guys here, you can see right here, $9.60. I am down $2.53, but it's because I made a mistake and invested too much money one go for one of them, and I lost it because I just didn't want to take it out because I was a risk taker. But anyway, the fact is that I'm actually slowly starting to break even or make more. So yeah. If you guys like this, you'll hit that follow button and just, yeah, check out me going from a noob to a pro. I'll catch you all later.